Is this thing on? Hey, hold on, let me check. Oh, oh yeah. Oh yeah. I gotta just pull it out of focus a little bit. Huh? What? Is that a console, you filthy casual? Yes, it is. Now, hold on a second. Before you judge me, let me explain. Or rather, show you what's going on here. Oh, oh. Voila. Oh, yes, it's already been opened. And that's where the hard drive used to be. Well, guess what? This is the hard drive. Let's make sure I don't show the serial number. It's basically this, really. That's the old mechanical hard drive. 2.5 inch they put in every Xbox and make it hard as hell to replace. I mean, this Xbox was brand new just 10 minutes ago. I opened it. Alright, let me just explain why I bought this thing first. If not, you can skip forward a minute ahead and see what I'm planning to do with it. It's basically the cheapest UHD Blu-ray player you can get on the market these days. It also plays games, and you also get a lot of insults towards your mother if you plan to play online. That is also an insult generator, I like to call this, the consoles. Yeah, but I'm not going to pay for a gold membership, so don't worry about that. My mom will rest easy knowing she won't be insulted. As for this, I was planning to replace it with the SSD, and the problem with this thing is every guide I've seen is trying to tell me, hey, go external, use an external connector, and blah, blah, blah. But the thing is, USB, in general, has more overhead than just SATA. They both have to go through chipset or whatever this interface is using here. But SATA is generally lower overhead and higher throughput. So technically, or theoretically, you could get more out of, you know, the SATA connected SSD then as opposed to a USB 3. Because think about it, you're converting SATA 3 to USB 3, then putting it in here. Why not just plug it straight in? Plus, the SATA 3, if it's SATA 3, I think it is 6 gigabit per second. USB 2 is, what is it, 5 gigabit per second? It's slower. Anyways, I don't think it's gonna matter much. The bottleneck may be somewhere else, depending on the game. And we're gonna figure it out. The thing is, I've heard that you can't easily, oh yeah, Intel 730 Skulltrail SSD. These are pretty old school now, but it's a 480 gigabyte. You can't, what am I going to say? Well, for PlayStation, you can just swap the hard drive, no problem. With this, I had to pull this whole thing apart and another piece, and there was a warranty sticker that is probably voided. But hey, I'm a tinkerer. I'm going to tinker with this damn thing. And, yeah. The thing is, you can't just directly install this like PlayStation and install your software on it. That's what I've heard anyway. What I'm going to try and do is clone the original hard drive into this and trick the system to think that this is the original hard drive, so I can have an internal SSD without having to use any of the USB ports at the back or just have to dangle something around. I like it all internal. Oh yeah, baby. Internal. Yeah, alright, so I'm just gonna cut the feed, see if I can clone the SSD, and show you how it's done, in case you're trying to do it. And, yeah. Alright guys, we are at the desktop portion of the video. Desktop capture, I suppose. Anyways, here's Internet Explorer, the bane of my existence. Gonna leave that there for a while. So, yes, it's been 24 hours since I cut the video from the cell phone footage to the desktop footage because I tried pretty much everything under the sun. Cloned the drive multiple ways, tried to format the drive through Xbox, startup repair, everything. And this drive me up the wall. I can't remember how many times I've recorded this segment and had to delete it because the methods change and keep going. I hope this is the last one. Yeah, so it turns out that the format for these partitions on the Xbox drive, although marked as NTFS, as we'll see here, so if we go to my computer, and these partitions are part of the Xbox hard drive solution or whatever. Now it looks a bit different on drive I and J because I ran the disk setup. So I turned the Xbox on, downloaded the initial update, and cut it off there after the update. So it's a hodgepodge basically. 5 partitions for no good reason. And that's not even the worst bit. If you go to management, it's trying to initialize the SSD I've put, and I haven't formatted yet, so that's okay. There's the SSD. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, I changed the SSD. Turns out you cannot do this kind of thing on a drive with a capacity less than the original Xbox's hard drive, which is 500 gigs. The 480 gig SSD wasn't going to work. I'll explain why in a second. But I've upgraded drive. Upgrade, of course, subjective in this case, because this is a cheaper drive, but it just has more space. It's a Crucial MX300, 750 gigabyte drive. It's decent for the money. It's not the fastest, but very economical. It's going to do its thing, hopefully. So yeah. The thing is, look at this, unallocated, 780 megabytes unallocated. For what reason? Jack shit, I don't know. 5 partitions. Microsoft, what the hell are you thinking? Let's ignore that, and let's get on with the job at hand. So, to do this, there are multiple ways. You basically want to copy the Xbox hard drive or clone it bit by bit, like a Siamese twin, even more accurate than a Siamese twin, onto the other hard drive. The trick with that is, normally when you're trying to clone, well, let me show you this part first. There are many programs that can do this, cloning the disk, some easy ones, some hard ones, paid, free, multiple ones. The one I found that works, well, perfectly well in this case and is intuitive. Well, you can obviously buy it, but there is a free version available. Aomi Partition Assistant Standard Edition 6.3. That's the latest version. This is the free version, and it still allow you to do what I want to do. Let's launch it. There we go. Many options here. Most of these we don't really need. These are, I think, the paid options. You can't even do some of these. Here's the Xbox drive, the 5 bits, and here's why we have to do it this way. You right click and you want to copy the disk, cloning basically. You have 2 options, copy this quickly or sector by sector copy. Now 99% of the time, copy this quickly would work if it was a normal computer, which this is, but the software is custom, so it's not. Yeah, is that confusing enough? Good. So, if you copy disk quickly, or select that option, you get to pick and choose what partitions you want and where you want them. And also what the size, what the allocation is, how much provisioning you want, how much free space you want, added, subtracted from any drive, any partition. You can't with this, because it turns out, although it's recognized as an NTFS format drive and partitions, as we can see here, well, it isn't. The other program was recognized it as NTFS. This one doesn't, so it just says other. Let's just go back here. It says GPU disk other. It's like, you know, those elements: hydrogen, helium, oxygen, carbon, other. Actually, I'm not sure that's the correct ratio, but well, yeah. So normal copy wouldn't work. It's just not gonna. So we have to do this sector by sector, also known as a forensic copy. This means every little atom, every little sector, every little bit is copied exactly the same way. Even the free space, which we cannot modify. Hence why we need an equal drive in size or larger. In this case, we're going to have a larger one. And that's the only solution. That's the final solution. No, not that final solution. My final solution. So let's select that. Click next. It says, all right, select the target drive. This is the 750 gigabyte SSD. Next. Yep. Don't need that. Now we've set the thing in motion, but we haven't pressed the trigger yet. So we'll click apply. Yeah. 4 hours, 25 minutes. Great. Yeah, let's get it going. Well, I guess I'll see you guys in 4 hours. Nope. I'll see you guys in a second. Alright, apparently it was a success. So let's see how long it took. Didn't tell me. Okay. I'm worried about that 233 gigabyte free space now. I guess the only thing left to do now is to put it in the Xbox if it boots. It's funny because if this doesn't work, I'm probably not going to post this video, but well, you'll see. Well, here we are at last. Bittersweet. Check out this download speed. I saw it as high as 500 megabit per second earlier. I'm in Bell actual fiber. So it's not bad. Unfortunately for the storage, that 230 gig or so is unobtainium. You cannot add it back to the storage pool. It's unformatted space. Thanks Microsoft for locking this piece of crap down, not allowing me to use the full potential of my storage solution. However, I guess the silver lining is that I can keep this drive as is and grab, let's say, a 500 or 520 gigabyte SSD later, clone it, replace it, and that'll be less of a waste of space, I guess. Because right now, 230 gig unformatted space, that's like a 240 gigabyte solid state drive being in the Xbox without having any use at all. Oh well, what can you do? I did the best I could, and this is the result. I don't know. I'm done with this. I spent 24 hours trying to figure this out. I'm not a console player. This is just an experiment. And you're about to see the end of it. Oh, by the way, I got that game for free because the Xbox was the Halo Master Chief Edition or whatnot. Yeah, bittersweet. I'll see you guys in the next one, if there's ever going to be another one. Over and out. Actually, that's a misnomer. Nobody says over and out. You just say over or out. Over and out is like saying over and over or out and out. It's dumb. Don't use it. With that, I will say over and out. Oh,